Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to our short webinar on our graduate programs in speech-language pathology and audiology. Hofstra is located about 25 miles from Manhattan and has a beautiful campus that is a registered arboretum. And the university has Dutch origins, hence the tulips you'll see on campus, along with a windmill and a building named the Netherlands Complex. And what you're looking at right here is the south side of campus. And the building that's off to the right is called Davison Hall, which houses many of our department's classrooms, faculty and staff offices, and research labs. And if you were to go off the screen further to the right about 100 yards, you'd bump into the Saltzman Center, which is a multidisciplinary clinic that houses our in-house, on-campus speech-language hearing clinic. For the MA program in speech-language pathology, there are two options for that program. One is just the regular MA program, and the second, which nearly all of our students do, is the MA program plus the TSSLD, which certifies future clinicians to work with students in the educational system when they graduate. In addition to the TSSLD, a few students usually opt for the bilingual extension, which allows students who speak a non-English language and who are bilingual to become certified bilingual therapists. On the audiology side, Hofstra is part of a consortium of 3 universities, along with Adelphi and St. John's, who together have a shared AUD program, a Doctor of Audiology program. Let's zoom in on the MA program in speech-language pathology for a few minutes. It's a minimum of 52 credits, and it's a 2-year full-time, not part-time program. And by 2 years, I mean that in the first year, you'll have a fall semester, winter semester, spring semester, summer semester. And then in the second year, you'll have fall semester, possibly winter semester, and then spring semester. And then most students will graduate at the end of that spring semester, so the May of their second year. And the first year in the program, while students are taking courses in multiple areas, such as aphasia and speech sound disorders, they'll be doing clinical work in our in-house on-campus clinic, again called the Saltzman Center. In our clinic, they'll do a diagnostic practicum, a treatment practicum, and an audiology practicum, as well as training in one of our specialty clinics, which include things like the Child Care Institute, the Parkinson's group, and an aphasia group. And then the second year in the program, while the students continue to take courses, for example, in motor speech, fluency, and voice, the students will do 2 external placements typically, one in the fall and one in the spring. And then there's an optional third one. And if the student is doing the TSSLD, which most students do, then one of the placements will be in a school. Then the other will be either a pediatric placement or an adult placement based on the student's preference. And the TSSLD option is embedded into the program, and most students opt for this option. It involves 2 extra courses, these 6 little educational law seminars, as well as a teacher exam. And then the bilingual extension involves an additional 2 courses on top of the 2 TSSLD courses. And the students' external placement in the schools will be in a bilingual setting if they're doing the bilingual extension. Applications are due on January 15th. Students should apply through the SIDCAS online application system. Many MA-SLP programs use this SIDCAS system. A personal statement is required. Students will need to have a sufficient undergrad background in speech-language pathology to officially enroll in the program. GRE scores are currently required. And the 3 letters of recommendation need to be submitted. These letters should ideally be from former or current faculty members or university administrators. The application review process takes multiple components into consideration. And thus, in theory, a weaker aspect of someone's application can sometimes be compensated for by other aspects of the application that are stronger. For example, it's possible that a very low GRE score could be counterbalanced by a very high GPA, strong letters of recommendation, and a strong personal statement. The AUD program is, as I mentioned before, a consortium among 3 universities, Hofstra, Delphi, and St. John's. And students will take courses at all 3 schools, but they're assigned a home school, which could be Hofstra. And at the home school, that's where the advisement and administrative work is completed for the student. And it's a 4-year program that is 86 credit hours. And the first 3 years involve courses, on-campus clinicals at the 3 universities, as well as a little research proposal. Then the 4th year is a fully an external placement. And the application should be submitted through Adelphi's website. And the application is due February 1st and requires undergrad transcripts, as well as 2 letters of recommendation, a personal statement, and there's also an interview that's part of the AUD application process. And if you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. There's my email address and phone number, or Haley, the Assistant Dean of Grad Recruitment, and that's her email address and phone number. Thank you so much for attending our little webinar. We really appreciate it, and we wish you luck in the application process and in graduate school. Thank you so much.